or IEP for
IEP.
homeschool.
Yeah.
And our teacher does that as well, because if at any time he wants to go back into public school and he is ready, which we're not ready for that.
Yeah.
But that it's so incredible to have an IEP because you can say, look, this is what's worked for the past 5 years, and it's going to stay this way.
Exactly. It's documentation. I give that talk. I think every conference I've spoke at this season, that is one they've asked me to give. And years before I started talking about IEPs, when I was working at the Texas Homeschool Coalition, I got negative responses from homeschool organizations saying, "We tell people to avoid those things." And I said, "But you are not equipping our parents anymore."
Yep.
And
it's a benefit.
It is a benefit, and people ask you for that. And you have a team now. I love that. I advocate for parents for so much. If you have other people working with you, that's your team. And
Yes.
they will stand behind you and say, this is the right decision for this child, because you have, there's other people that are going to come into your son's life that will question that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
awesome. You have a teacher that is so dedicated to your son.
Right. And I think that's what the support has been huge. But on the other hand, and on the other side of all of this, I have looked at my husband so many times, and I, with tears in my eyes, have said, what would we have done if we didn't make the money that we made? And I think it's a very upsetting thing to think about, that these children are suffering. Mm-hmm. Parents, families are breaking apart and suffering because there is no support unless you have the right amount of cash.
Yeah. And there are a lot of single moms now homeschooling. Oh. It is amazing that they even do that. They make it work, but it is not easy.
No, I cannot imagine.
Karen had a comment. And just so you know, if you have comments, please put them in the feed. We definitely want to highlight. Karen said, I went to a vocational rehab office last week to help my son get assisted employment, and they asked for an IEP. Yes. Yeah. There's so many places now that are, it's required documentation for assistance. And we are at a deficit as homeschoolers if we don't have that documentation. Thanks for sharing, Karen.
Yes.
I've heard also Social Security offices throughout. It's kind of sporadic, but they're saying if you want to get SSI money, we want your IEP. Yeah. So, and that was one of the reasons I first started working with the Texas Homeschool Coalition, because I was writing all those IEPs, and I was like, we need an automated way to do this because there's not enough of me. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah.